We're the trillionaires, man. What it do with y'all? Welcome back to another video, man. And today's video title I want to talk to y'all about is I might title this video "What is ego?" or "What is the real ego?" I don't know what I'm gonna title it yet, man. But basically, so for yesterday and all the way up to this current moment or some shit today, I've been working on dissolving my ego, and it's a reason as to why I'm doing this. You see, the reason as to why I might title the video "What is the real ego?" is simply because of this. You see, I believe that the real ego. You see, a whole lot of us, we have egos out in this bitch. For whatever reason you have an ego. I'm gonna tell you the way as to how I gain my ego. I gain my ego through like visualization. What the fuck? Visualization. I'm just telling you what it is. That's how I gain my ego. You know what I'm saying? And one thing when it comes to like visualization, it puts you in that same energy signature that you will have as if you already had everything it is that you wanted. That's basically what visualization is. So basically I'm manipulating my mind, or you could call it acting as if, but so that's basically how I got my ego. So I got my ego from imagination. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if anyone else got their ego from that shit, but that's how I got mine. But I know people have egos out in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? And the reason as to why I'm making this video is simply because this is more like a video to myself. I just want myself to know that, I dissolve my ego. And the reason as to why I dissolve my ego is simply because I realized that the real ego is to not have no ego. And what I mean is the real ego is to really be who it is that you think you are. And that's all I'm trying to say. Like, I made multiple videos about it. Like, one thing about me, man, like I said, I stopped using visualization tactics and techniques and shit like that. I stopped doing it. And the reason as to why I stopped doing it is simply because it's not real. I'm telling you what, real shit, man. Like, here I go. I'm just sitting back, imagining myself living out my dream life, imagining myself having all the money, having all the women, having all the cars, having all the houses. Motherfucker, that shit is not real out in this bitch. But point I'm trying to get across, though, is I need to make that real so I could really say I got that shit. So I could really have my ego out in this bitch. That's all I'm trying to say. All I'm saying, man, the real ego is to not have no ego. Or let me put it in a different way. The real ego is to have every single thing it is that you always wanted to get. You know what I'm saying? So that to me is the real ego. And that to me is basically what I've been working on. Real shit, man. So I'm just going to keep 100 with you, man. Motherfucker, I like to flex a lot in this bitch. I'm just telling you the game. Real shit, man. When I get every single thing it is I always wanted out in this bitch, motherfucker, I am shitting. I'm telling you what it is. Real talk, man. I know people right now, they probably looking at me like I'm some conceited ass motherfucker. And you damn right. I'm telling you what it is. But point I'm trying to get across, though, at this current moment, since I don't have every single thing it is I want yet, since I'm in the manifestation process, I'm gonna lose my ego. I don't have it yet, but when I get it, that's the real ego. When I get it, then I can have an ego out in this bitch. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, what I'm saying is to all the individuals that wants to have ego, because one thing about having an ego, man, it might make you feel self-accredited. And I think I said that word right. But real talk, man, that what ego will make you do. I'm telling you, let me use an example right quick. Let's say it's a dude that approached a female, right? And the female rejected him simply because of her ego. She got an ego boost from that situation. Point I'm trying to get across is, everybody got an ego in this bitch. And people use their ego, to make themselves, oh, I'm her or I'm him, for whatever situation that you might be in. So point I'm trying to get across is, all I'm saying is, man, to really have an ego, to really have all along, because another thing about ego, like ego is basically like validation. One thing about validation, it wears off. I'm telling you what it is. So you might have an ego boost for that one period of time, then you're going back to being insecure the next minute or the next day. I'm telling you what it is. But to have the long-term ego, this is to all the people that want to have an ego out in this bitch. In order to truthfully maintain that long-term ego, or to know that you are that MF, you know what I'm saying? Really have every single thing it is that will make you be that MF. Like, really live out the life of your dreams. Really do everything it is that you said you was going to do. That's the real ego. I'm telling you what it is, man. So, since I don't, look, man, that's all I'm saying, man. You know, so I'm gonna say it one more time. The real ego, the real ego is the real ego is to not have no ego. Or let me put it in a different way. The real ego is to do every single thing it is that you always wanted to do in real life. Don't just do that shit in your mind. Don't just visualize yourself being the man. Don't just, do some short-term ass shit to make you feel like the man, substances, rejecting people for no fucking reason. It's gonna be a short-term ego boost. It's gonna go away the next day. I'm telling you what it is. In order to maintain that long-term ego, to all the people that want an ego out in this bitch, you need to not have no ego, or you need to do everything it is that you always wanted to do in real life. So anyways, man, I think I got my point across in this bitch, man. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Without further ado, man, stay tuned for some more videos, and we out. V's up.